Saje Puje Joje Medo Rira Linke Nende Jambade Sanje Shindo Mene Luaye Doga Nanda Shima Joba Shoyo Semje Namje Sambada Raye Sira Shida Wachi Jante Mwate Waye Choje Oro Kodo So Bada Dojin Chawa Rekunja Da Lamu Komo Ba Jabu Bunju Juni Seje Pake Da Najurma Kele Kunje Jabon Jo Chenjo Beto Janda La Lanju Seje Gugu Dodo Da Me Doje Chonza Pande Sawa Lomba Rumbonche Dakri Jo Benda Danasho Kadin Jembo Gone Jezonde Guzun Tojen Odo Zadozo Yenten Sangen Kuna Nanya Kadin Sange Kuna Laba Zawa Lama Jala Zoa Dato Dora Dona Chola and one and get Tata Yambas and Jen Tamji, Luka Sangi Kupana for Chela Topacha, they ate the Tambi children of the sense of Dalakashan Sambra Chavi Chini, Shineta, Malcolm Sugar Council Papa in Okay. So good evening, friends. I should delay. I'm very happy to have all of you here tonight. And many of our friends here, my friends, have taken a meditation course. Last spring, we had like 10 sessions. So what I'm going to do tonight is to share with you my understanding about meditation. And in order to practice and see progress from your practice, I also want to explain what are the hindrances that one has to be watchful, and also how we sit when we meditate. Even though this may sound simple, but for beginner, sometimes it's a bit difficult, but if you try every day, you get used to it. There's nothing that if you try, it won't be easy. I think it takes time, but I think it's very, very important. Meditation is one of the very important practice in Buddhism as a whole, and the goals are different. You know, when we learn in temple, like what I'm going to teach tonight is based on this text. Probably goes back to a few hundred years teachings, you know, so it's passed down from teacher to student, you know, like we follow this lineage. If you say specifically Buddhism, in Buddhist, when we practice meditation, of course, we may wish, relatively speaking, you know, happiness, lack of stress, all this, you know, this is not part of our main goal. The main part of goal is to attain realization for the sake of all sentient beings. That means to feel totally what we call this place is, even though we may call it home, sweet home, but it's the place where you have everything going on, you know. It's not a place, it's like you are always happy. There are so many things going on with your family, friend, so it's always not happy. So we call it this samsara, which also means the cyclic existence, the cycle of rebirth, old age, sickness, and death. So the main goal is to become a Buddha. And there are many who practice meditation, if you say, especially in West, even nowadays in some part of Asia, they practice meditation mainly to achieve calmness, because our life is so chaotic now, you know, from morning to night, we go through many levels of stress. And if you compare to earlier, you know, our life is more like stressful. We are always running after something, and many times our hope is like unrealistic. And also the environment where we are in makes us very stressful. Like for instance, I will give you an example. You know, normally I walk very slow. You know, even when I walk from my apartment to Harvard, I seem to walk in like I was always in the front, but at the same time I will be always the last. So it means I'm walking very slow. I tend to walk slow. And now, like when I was in Hong Kong a few years ago, and in Hong Kong people walk very fast, you know. And then I was walking, and after some time I start to walk very fast. And then I got so tired and I just stopped.
why I'm walking so fast. I don't have a reason to walk fast. Why I'm following all these people? Because they have to rush for something, but I don't have. So it seems like the environment is like affecting all of us, you know. So, and also, our mind. You may get a physical rest, but if you're mentally not rested, then you can't really achieve calmness. You can't really rest. Sometimes we say, oh, I want to rest. You lie down on the bed, but you start thinking everything. Then when your mind is so active, you are not resting. So you become more exhausted, more tired. Even though physically you may have a little bit of rest, but mentally you are totally drained out. So this is not helping us. So what meditation does, if you say the function of meditation is to let our mind be calm. Generally in Buddhism, we refer to mind as a wild monkey, you know. And if you really want to see how our mind works, you should, look at the monkey, or try to keep monkey on your table, and you'll see how the monkey, move around. It's like even for a few seconds, monkey can't really stand still. It's moving all the time. So then, if you compare to our mind, so mind is more active than a monkey. So this makes us very tired, and this is the reason why I think we are really exhausted. So it seems like in West people practice meditation not for Buddhahood, of course, just to be calm and to relax yourself. I mean, I think it's nothing wrong, because not everybody can have the same goal. And if meditation is helping, temporarily, I think there's nothing wrong. I think it's good. So we can, hope for calmness through our practice. And there are other group of people, who like to meditate because they want to sleep better. So there are people, like some people told me that the moment they start to meditate, they fall asleep. So meditation can be practiced for many different purposes. So it is all up to us. So it is important. Now, like if you say how we learn since young, how we learn meditation, the important factor is that one should not look for the quantity. One should always look for a quality. So time, how we practice, is very, very important. You may sit for half an hour, or you may even sit for 1 hour. But then the problem here is you are not very sharp. You are dull. Probably halfway you are sleepy. Halfway your mind is somewhere else. But you are sitting in meditation posture, but your mind is totally not present. So that is not effective. So that's what we're going to do. What we're going to do is, like even for my teacher, when I first learned meditation, my teacher said that we always begin with a short time, but more often. So even we begin with 5 minutes. So it doesn't have to be half an hour. We always can begin with 5 minutes. So you can do morning a few times, or if you want afternoon few times, or evening few times. Of course, the best time will be morning, but then if you're working, it becomes difficult, yeah? Because if you try to meditate afternoon, you tend to fall asleep. You will be sleeping more than meditating. Especially if you have a heavy meal, you tend to fall asleep. So the morning will be best time. But however, whichever time when you practice, we have to, of course the place is very important again. When we begin, initially when we start to practice, the place is very important. The place has to be quiet. We cannot practice in the middle of the street. We cannot practice in like a Starbucks, impossible. What happens is when you start to meditate in the Starbucks, you'll be listening all the gossip around, then you cannot really focus. So the place plays a very important role. You can practice in your bedroom or in your sitting room, wherever it is quiet. In the beginning, it's very, very important. And when you start to practice, you can have a timer. You should practice for 5 minutes and stop. Keep your interest very much alive. You know, the moment you lose this interest, then you are finished. The next day, okay, I'm done with meditation. You know, so you see a lot of people, oh, I'm stopped meditating. This is what happens with all of us. So we must keep this interest. At the same time, try to practice not very long hours, but begin with 5 minutes. Then slowly, according to your ability, you can increase your time. Yeah. So that's how we should practice. Now, meditation generally, you know, if you say in Buddhism, there are two kinds of basic meditation, and actually this one can say is the universal. You know, it's nothing to do with the Buddhism, or it's nothing to relate to anything to do with the Buddhism. It's about concentration. We call it shamatha, and the second one is we call it vipassana. Vipassana means analytical thoughts. So you analyze. So when we begin to practice meditation, we always learn about shamatha. You know, samatha. So we will sit in different posture and sit like this, and then you just focus. You know, you just focus. You know, the main point here is concentration, to have a better and sharper and clearer concentration or focus. Yeah, if your concentration is weak, if your focus is weak, if it's not clear, it's not going to help us. So as much as possible, so as I mentioned earlier in the beginning, quantity is not important, the quality. And if you begin with such way, definitely you will see the progress. And at the same time, meditation is something that it doesn't happen overnight. You know, so one has to form a habit. This is something that you need to do every day. You know, so when you do every day, when you practice every day, you tend to form a habit. Then after some time, you feel very comfortable. Like if you don't meditate, you feel that something is missing. You have to do it. Like me, the moment I wake up, I need to meditate. Otherwise, there's something missing. You know, even Saturday or Sunday, you don't feel that. Oh, now, of course, if it's Sunday, no, okay, forget it. I will do on Monday. You know, but once you get used to, it doesn't matter. You know, you feel you like to do it. It's not that somebody is forcing you. But initially, you have to make some effort, and then you'll be able to practice better and better. So once you master what we call shamatha, then vipassana means like we call it analytical thoughts that you investigate. You investigate within yourself, or you are seeing outwardly, whatever object you're focusing on. So I think what we should focus now is mainly the shamatha. And this is shamatha means one-pointedness, and this is the basic foundation for all meditation. And in order to perfect shamatha or concentration, there are many factors, and among the two most important factors are, we call it tenpa. Tenpa means mindfulness, and shishin means awareness. So when we focus, what the function of our mindfulness is to remember whatever good or bad that you have done earlier. You know, a few months ago, a few years ago, even a few days ago. You try to recall everything, and you have to make sure that you don't do it again. Yeah, this is the function of mindfulness. And then we have this awareness is to keep watch of yourself. So throughout the time, you're aware of what is happening. You know, so this will protect us from harms of our what we call negative emotions. You know, why we are not happy many times is because of this, all these negative emotions such as anger, jealousy, hatred, or attachment. All this will let your mind be very active, and when you tend to follow all this negative emotion, then we tend to have more suffering and pain. So meditation helps us not to think about all this. Even if you are thinking, making sure that you are not following your thoughts. We cannot stop not thinking. It's impossible. Nobody can stop not thinking, you know, nobody can stop, you know. So thinking is okay, there's nothing wrong. But what is wrong is after thinking, if you try to follow up your thoughts, then it becomes a problem. So as long as you don't follow your thought, then you are very safe. There's a generally saying in Buddhism, our mind is like a wild monkey or wild elephant. And our concentration is like the pillar. And we use the rope of mindfulness and awareness. By using this, we're able to tame our wild monkey, wild elephant. Why we call wild is because if body goes crazy, it may not afflict so much of pain for so long. But if our mind goes crazy, it can bring tremendous amount of pain and suffering to our life. So we need to tame our wild monkey by following all this method. Now, how we tame this? We have to practice concentration. So it depends on us. There are many ways we can train our mind. Like for instance, we can use external support or internal support. Like for the beginning, if you're asked to visualize something, you can't really visualize. It's impossible, even for us. So we begin with using external objects. Like you can use any object that which you feel comfortable with. You can use flowers, you can use lights, or if you find even this object is difficult, then you can use picture of your boyfriend or your girlfriend. The purpose here is just to get a good concentration. That's the main purpose. So any object if you are comfortable with, you can use that object and keep in the front, and then just sit like this. I will teach you how to sitting posture, and try to look at the picture or objects, and then you can train yourself. So and after some time, then you can spend 5 minutes, or then 10 minutes, 50 minutes. And if you find this too easy for you, then what you can do is you can also visualize, visualize something. That means if you are visualizing a flower, for instance, you can look at the flower and then just visualize something, construct in your mind, and try to like slowly enlarge and make it small, just to train your mind. This is how we practice concentration. And I think a lot of places, a lot of people, they usually practice breathing. I think this is the most common. Like you can count from 7 times, 14 times, 21 times, 50 times, then even 100 times. So if you feel all these other techniques are not useful to you, so you can start counting. Yeah, you can start counting. How you can count is like for instance, I will teach you how to sit later. When you sit, when you inhale, sometimes your mind and your breath may not go together. So you have to just think that they're together. And when you inhale, it goes right down 4 inches below your navel. 4 inches below your navel, where all the energy is concentrated. So if you can hold for a few seconds, and then you exhale. And cannot go more than 4 inches, or some say 16 inches. 4 inches cannot be too far. Don't let go too far. Then you tend to lose concentration. The longest distance is the 16 inches or 4 inches. So then you inhale, then hold for a few seconds, then you exhale. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, like 7 times. Then you hold for a few minutes. Yeah, and then again you can do the same way. And if you cannot really concentrate, that shows that you are physically very exhausted. Then you cannot force yourself. You know, you cannot force yourself, so you can walk around, drink cup of tea, of course not whiskey, okay, not liquors. Make sure just drink a cup of water or tea, and then again you try to do it again. So this way, we improve our concentration. So you can try later. We will try to do it. And also like when you get really used to these techniques, and then you don't have to like, you just sit like this, just look in the front, don't think whatever that comes in and out. The important here is we tend to like, I came across many texts, and also I've heard from many teachers saying that we are in a different age, you know, and if you say in Buddhism, we are in dark age. So there's a golden age, twofold age, threefold age, and then we are in dark age. So that's so many things are happening all the time. So our mind is very active, you know, very active. So one cannot practice to stop thinking. It's impossible. It will never happen. We shouldn't look for this goal, you know. If you try to stop all your thought, I think you end up with more problems. So the point here is not to try to stop your thoughts. What is important is let the thought come and go, but be aware of all this happening. Be aware of your surrounding. I think that's the most important, you know. And if you can do that, then even while you're walking, you know, while you're sitting in the bus, while you're traveling in the MRT subways, you are still practicing. But if your mind is not there with you, then you are not practicing. So the point here is to be watchful of your thought. Let your mind go, because if you try to control your mind, it becomes more active. Like for instance, a small baby, if you hold it tight, it always moves around, always want to be free from you, you know. So if you let it go and you keep watch, let the baby play around, and it won't do very bad. It won't be very naughty. You know, you keep watch, and then if it's very naughty, or she or he, then you can handle it. You know. Otherwise, let the child play around. So this way, I think then the child will have freedom. At the same time, child is comfortable. Otherwise, the more you try to hold it, the difficult it becomes. Like a prisoner. Prisoner always try to run away from prison. Why? Because they are put inside. So we never try to run away because no, we are not in prison, so we are free. So we never think to run away. So similarly, the technique here is not to let your mind be too strict or too loose. One has to see the exact balance. Let your mind wander, but at the same time, you have to be watchful. That's very important. Very important. You know, like for instance, when you play a guitar, you know, if the string is slick, then it can't produce a beautiful sound. If it's too tight, it can't. So it has to be the right tightening, you know, so you can listen to a beautiful sound. So similarly, meditation is something that one has to be comfortable with. If you are not comfortable, it will never help. Okay, so you can focus externally, or you can focus on breathing, or you can visualize, or you can sit like this, as I mentioned at the end. You just sit like this, and then don't try to stop or try to reject or accept. Just sit like this, and if you are aware through this moment, that is very, 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 very good. Yeah. So it takes time, but if we do it every day, we will reach there. You know, we need to form a habit. There is a saying. We may say meditation, but actually there's a saying that meditation is not about meditating, but it's about getting used to. So now we are not used to, letting your mind be always present, because we are getting used to think all the time. So this is why we're not able to concentrate better. And also one thing we have to be very careful. you know, I've seen and I've heard from many friends that during the meditation we tend to come up with all the plans. So this shouldn't be the case, you know, like while you're sitting, you say, okay, tomorrow I should do this, okay, I should buy this, I should go for the shopping, I don't do, you know, all the planning comes during the meditation. So this shouldn't be the case. During the meditation, you have to just sit and try to meditate. But you should try every day, you will see the progress. Now, you know, there are few things that we have to be careful. Like for instance, there are many, but there are some hindrances could be more damaging. It may have a ill effect to our meditation. Like for instance, active mind. You're thinking too much during the meditation. That's one thing. And also, one shouldn't think about regret. Is another thing. You know, you can be regret of doing something good or bad other days, but one cannot think during the meditation because it makes your mind very active. So one should never think about this. And there's a saying, when you're meditating, you should even not think Buddha. You know, the purpose here is just to meditate or whichever object that you're focusing on. So the focus here should be just your focus, not even the Buddha. And the third is dullness. Dullness, you know, like that's why I'm saying, I explained earlier, you may sit for a long time, but then you're not sharp, you are not focused, like you are like in the environment of dullness, like not clear. So you are not really doing meditation. So this doesn't really help us in the long run. So one has to be very focused. And sleepiness is another thing, that one has to be very watchful of sleepiness. And also doubts. You know, these are the main thing, like what they call agitation, regret, dullness, sleepiness, and doubts. This affects our stability of our mind, and also like what do you call, too much of wanting, like I want this, I want that. During the meditation, you should be contented, and one should not have malicious intentions. So these are the important things that you have to be more watchful. But then if I make it short, if you cannot, probably you may not able to remember all this. So you have to make, if I make it short, the main thing is agitation and dullness. These are the two things that you have to be careful. Because the problem with all these hindrances, you know, when it comes to you, you never notice. That's the problem. You know, like if the hindrances comes and saying, knocking, oh, I'm coming in. Can I come in? Then we know, oh, it's coming. But the problem with hindrances, when it comes in, we never know. We never notice. While we are sitting, we are falling asleep, or while thinking something else. So they come with a lot of comfort that we cannot notice. So this is making us very difficult to notice them. And the dullness, and these are the two main things that if you're watchful, I think it will really help you in the long run. That's how we need to practice. So maybe we can learn a little bit of, so far are you clear? Did I spoke too fast? Are you clear? Any questions? If you're not clear, you can let me know, yeah? Then we can, a little bit more to go. Or we can learn, you know, the sitting posture, you know, I mean, in our school, we don't really sit in meditation posture. That's okay, you know, I mean, it depends on the individual. But what I feel is like when we first learn how to meditate, we should try to sit in meditation posture, and then later on, then you can decide what you want, you know. At least you should know the authentic way of sitting postures. I think that's very, very important. You know, once you get used to, once you master this technique, and then even you can sleep and meditate, but not now. There's one famous teacher called Sleeping Guru in India. He he passed away a long time back, attended Paranirvana. He's well known among the highly accomplished guru. So whenever you go to see him, he's always sleeping, you know. So when you go to me, he was like, okay. So like when you master meditation, the posture doesn't really matter, you know. Whichever way you sit, however you sit, you are able to sit, practice perfectly well. But now we should try to learn the right way, yeah. So, okay, let me. Okay, the first, I think the full Vajra cross leg would be a bit difficult. The reason why it is important is there's a lot of detail about why it is important. If I make it simpler, when you sit in meditation posture, and all the veins in our body, all we call it channel, will be in the right place. You know, in the right place. When the veins, all the channels, when it's in the right place, all the energy, the wind that flows inside, you know, the vein, will be very smooth and without any obstruction. So when that happens, the effect will be like less thought arising, and you are able to concentrate better and focus better. That is the main purpose. So normally what we do is like, actually this okay, like your left inside, right outside. You can sit like this. The right inside, left inside, the right outside, like this. That's the first part. This is the first sitting posture. And the second one is like use your right hand on the palm of left and touch your thumbs, thumbs, and hold 4 inches below your navel, 4 inches below your navel, like this. Second, yes, like this. Okay. And the third, the most important, which keep your back spinal cord very straight. You shouldn't be doing like this. You know, straight, like this. Third, and the fourth, your shoulder should be on the same level. You know, you're well balanced. You know, fourth, fifth, bend down a little bit. Bend down a little bit. Okay. So tip of your nose and your navel is in one line. Okay. Six, you know, your tongue gently touch upper palate. When you gently touch upper palate, even though you may close your lip, not tight, just keep it normal, then you are able to breathe normally. 6, 7, then you lose straight, not more than 16 inches in front. So you can open your eye or you can close your eye. Some like to open, some like to close, because some, when they close, they tend to fall asleep. And then some, like when you open your eye, you start seeing everything, your mind becomes more active. So it's up to you, yeah. If you think it's more comfortable to open your eye, then you should open your eye. If you think closing eye better, then just close your eye and sit like this. Yes, so like this. So try to sit like this, like 5 minutes. That initially maybe it's not so comfortable, but it's okay. But the more you get used to, the more you practice, it becomes easy and easier. So you need some kind of practice every day, at least like 5 minutes, few sessions. If you cannot do it like a few sessions, 5 minutes, you can do morning 5 minutes, afternoon, or in the evening before you go to bed. I think before you go to bed, if you try to meditate for 5 minutes, you're definitely able to sleep better, because every day your mind is so active from morning to night, and then even though you're physically you're sleeping, your mind is still active, so you can't fall asleep. So before you go to sleep, if you meditate for even 5 minutes, it let your mind calm and rest, then you are able to sleep better. So you can try this, yeah. So like sit like this, and it's a bit hard for, and what is also most important is like, you know, you should have this a cushion, you know, like what do you call that? This one. It's a cushion. Yeah, cushion. You put behind, you know. So you'll be sitting like this, so it's easier to keep your back straight, you know. Because if you sit like this, it becomes very difficult. So if you put something behind, then it's easier, and you are able to keep straight. You're able to keep straight, okay? So you can do that. So sit, okay, like this, half vertical cross leg. Okay, your right hand on the palm of left. Okay, place 4 inches below navel. Your third, the right shoulder in the right, you know, same level, and keep your backbone, spinal cord straight. Okay, and then bend your neck a little bit, and then touch your tongue on the upper palate, and look straight from your top of your nose. About the farthest is 16 inches. Like this. So later we try to practice 5 minutes and see how you feel. I also have a small booklet. If you don't have it, I think there are some news. It's simple, you know. It helps you. So everything is there, so you can. Yeah. So any question so far is okay? We try to put it everything in one session. So yeah.
I have tried meditating in the morning, and I, like you said, like I always fall asleep, even because I tried like making a coffee first. I'm drinking coffee, but then like if I don't do it right when I wake up, like I'm rushing, and so I don't know. Is it like useless if you're, if you try and do it and you just fall asleep inevitably like almost every time? Should I just keep trying, or?
I think what you should do is like sometime when you wake up, soon after you wake up, because you're still not fully awake,
Yeah.
So what you can do, you sprinkle water on your face, or you wash your face a little bit, use cold water, wash your face, and if you try to sit, I think it will help you.
Okay.
Yeah. Like even me, especially in winter, the moment you wake up, you try to put on blanket, start sleeping. It happens to everybody, it's the same. So I think that's what I do, and also you have to see, for us morning is better, but you have to see, you compare afternoon, even in what time you feel better. So you should try to adjust your time, don't try to follow it, just stick onto one time. So this important, yeah. And also the focus is all up to you, how you feel, yeah. So different people prefer different techniques, and the benefits are the same. It will definitely relaxes your thought and your mind. You're able to think clearly. I think nowadays, I think you can read many books about meditation, and also I think many like hospital. Yeah, in our class we discuss a lot. Yeah, they're using this technique, how to mindfulness. It seems like some group of students, they are taught how to meditate, and other group of students, they never learn about meditation. And the group of students who learn meditation, they say that they are more calmer, they have less hatred, they're able to sleep better, they're able to think better. These are the common benefits of meditation. But also what is important is we shouldn't hope for the reward, and there's no instant solution. Nowadays you have an instant noodle, you have an instant coffee, because we are so hurry, want everything. Buddha, hurry up, hurry up. But this is not going to work. Meditation is something that you need to push yourself. I think the more you do it, it get better it gets. But you cannot push yourself to the extent that you get very tired, physically, mental, that's not good again. So you have to see the right amount, and the right balance is very important. Yeah, balance is very important. But then if you do it every day, it definitely helps. You know, it's therefore I think in West it's becoming more and more popular because the amount of stress that you tend to have. You know. So I think it's very good. You know, so initially you have to make effort, but then the moment when you get used to, it will get better and better. So meditation, you cannot have holidays. You know, you try to do it every day, like brushing your teeth. You know, you can't stop one day. You know, you have to do it. So you need to form a habit to do it every day. So if you do it every day, it becomes a habit. It's like it's natural. You know, I wake up, okay, I need to meditate. You know, so it becomes naturally. It comes to you. Okay, we try to meditate. Any questions so far?
Yeah, I have one question.
Okay.
So I'm a little bit confused about what to think about at that point. Like for example, we're trying to meditate just for 5 minutes, and what should we really think about at that 5 minutes?
What you can do is like, you can. I said earlier, like you can use an object in front of you. You know, like flower, you can look in front, you know, you can keep flower or light or lamp in front of you, and just keep looking, you know.
So in your mind, you doesn't really think it at all, I mean, as thoughts or?
You know, your mind is totally focused on that object. Don't let, you know, it's natural that our mind will, you know, wander around, that we can't stop. But the moment it's wandering around, you have to just know it, you know, just know it, and try to know that your mind is not there, and try to bring back, you know. It's like small children, you're trying to, okay, come, you know, trying to put in the right place, you know, so that's how you can focus. Or, you know, you can just count your breath, you know, like starting when you inhale, and just think that your mind and breath is together, and it will go down, right down 4 inches below navel, and you just hold for a few seconds. You can breathe, you know, exhale and inhale. Then when you exhale, then you just think that your mind is coming out, and a travel distance of like 4 to 16 inches. Then you count 1, then you count 2, and you count for 7 times. Then you just stop. 7 times, and then again you count 7 times. And after a week, then you can count like 14 times, then 21 times. So it's up to you. You can slowly increase as one can, you know. Don't try to do it too long, and don't try to do it too short. Maybe 5 minutes is to begin with. If you can do more, it's good, but don't try to do less than 5 minutes. So you'll be focusing on your breath. So far, is it clear? I'm not sure. So we meditate for 5 minutes. We try. Olden days they used bell to signal, but now we use telephone. I use these telephone apps too, so it's easier, you know. 5 minutes. Okay. Five minutes. So you have to sit in half vajra cross leg. Make sure that your right hand is on the palm of left, and your thumb is touching, and place 4 inches below your navel. Okay, that's the second posture. And the third is make sure that your shoulder is well balanced. Okay. And fourth is keep your back straight, backbone straight. Okay. The fifth point is you should you should bend your neck a little bit, not too much, just a little bit, and look in the front from the tip of your nose. 6, you should touch your tongue on the upper planet gently, so there is a space between your 2 lips, so you are able to breathe normally. And the 7th point is you should look straight, about distance more than 16 inches, and then just sit like this. Then if you're counting your breath, so when you inhale, you have to just visualize that your breath and your mind is like together. When you inhale, it goes down further down to like 4 inches below your navel, and hold it there for a few seconds, or if you can hold longer, it's up to you. And then when you exhale, then you have to think your mind and breath is coming together about 4 inches. Then you count 1, then you can count 2. You can do 7 times, then you stop for a while. You can do then 7 times. This is how we should practice. Yeah? It's not too short, yeah? So you can increase your time of meditation, but like I always like to encourage to do 5 minutes and more, because you may able to sit in 1 hour just like that, but then half of the time you're thinking something else, half of the time you're maybe sleeping, so you're just trying to pass your time, so it doesn't really help. And also I want to say something about, like, when you meditate, we tend to gain many experiences. You know, like sometimes you have a nice feeling, sometimes you have a ugly feeling that coming into you, you know. And what is important is we shouldn't be distracted by all this feeling. You know, the moment you get distracted, then you tend to, why or how, you know, then your focus, you have already lost your focus, then you are grabbing onto something else, you know. So if you don't let your feeling control us, you know, let any feeling that comes in and out, let it come and let it go. If you keep continuing practicing, then eventually it becomes realization. It becomes more profound, and you know, it becomes a realization. The moment you feel, you know, like try to reject or accept, then it becomes an obstacle. That is the problem with many of us. So, like, many times I keep hearing from friends, oh, I had such a beautiful feeling. I want to hold this. How are you going to hold that? You know, then again you're creating another kind of obstacles, another kind of hindrances. You know, so we are not after any feeling. You know, the important is keep continuing. That's how we can see progress. You know, it's like when you're driving to reach somewhere. You know. So you have to keep driving. When you see beautiful things everywhere, you stop, so you may never reach your destiny. So similarly, you know, while you're driving, you have to keep driving until you reach your places. Similarly, when you meditate, there will be so many good things, bad things happening to us. The feelings are just feeling, and then we call it experiences. And don't let you control by these experiences. And if you keep practicing, then you will see the real progress, you know. So this is something that you need to do every day. We have a longer video on this on our website. If you're interested, you can watch. Yeah, it's there. Yeah. So there are like 10 sessions. I think 8 sessions. Yeah. So you can, one session you can like use for like 1 week. The second session, the third week. So it's good for you. Anything? Any questions so far? If you learn, you feel you learn anything? So I think this is the first session. It's hard to remember everything, but then if you know the basic, the importance, I think it's very good.
It's funny. When I tried to do what you had said, think about a flower. And then my mind just took off to, oh, I should plant flowers now, and I started seeing the bulbs that I walked past, and then I started thinking, no, he's talking about don't want to go shopping. It's unbelievable. It's so funny how.
You know what happens is ordinary day. That's right. You know, it's this interesting question. What happens ordinary day? We never think about all this.
No.
So the moment we start to meditate, sometimes people get really, am I crazy now? You know, why so many thoughts are there? You know, normally we never notice. The moment you meditate, then you are now seeing yourself. You know, you are trying to see yourself. Then some people really get frightened that how come there are so many thoughts? It's because we never look into ourselves. I think this is very important because when there's a problem, if you look for solution from somewhere else, then we will never find a good solution, effective solution. So what we should do, like in my opinion, I would look always into myself, why this is happening. You know, maybe I'm wrong somewhere. So if I'm wrong, it's easy to fix. If others are wrong, you know, I can't fix others. So this way I'm able to, you know, see the success or progress, because then I you know, and meditation is the way that to look into yourself, you know, because we are always seeing outside, we are not seeing inside, we are not seeing out, so we did not really recognize who I am. So meditation is one of the practice that trying to know who I am, trying to see who I am. And by seeing and knowing yourself, then we can really make a beautiful, build up a beautiful life, you know, because then we will know where I'm wrong, where I can be good. So this way I can, you know, act according to my own experiences, according to my finding, and then we can see a lot of progresses, you know. Interesting, yeah. That's olden days in Tibet. I heard from some of the old lamas, you know, like there will be like 6, 7, 10 people. They will be doing like 3 years retreat, and of course, it's 3 years is a very long, you know. It's like not just few days, but I was told that 1 week to 1 month is very difficult, you know, because mind is so powerful. If you decide, then you can do it. Because why we can't do it? Because we are hanging on the balance, you know, like we are not really deciding what I want to be. So after you spend 1 month, then you are okay. So this is what I'm going to do. I can't change now, you know. I can't do away with this. So you tend to focus, and then you tend to do, you know, good, you know. So it's about willpower and your determination, and change your mindset. You know, it was so interesting. Last time I had to teach about happiness, how to be happy. You know, so I had to do some research, and then I found this graph from some of the Harvard professor saying that 59% of the happiness, total happiness, comes from change your mindset. It's really true, you know. And a lot of people think that money, power, fame is the most important, but actually that only contribute 5% of our happiness. So change your mindset. I think we need to change, you know, because I think like we can't change others. So I need to change myself. Like for instance, when I come to Boston, I can't always think like I'm like in our Asia, you know. The way you think is so different. So in order to fit into this culture, I need to change myself so I can fit into this culture. This way I'm happy, comfortable, that I can, you know, communicate better. But if I keep my old thinking and try to change Boston, then it will take longer than becoming Buddha. And you know, this retreat master, you know, they call all the master, people who are staying retreat, and they will, you know, the retreat master will ask them, "Can you tell me what is the color of your ceiling, you know, your room?" And they will ask, "How many windows are there in your room, and what kind of cupboard that you have, you know, what kind of color is on your floor, you know?" So he will ask like a tofu test, trick you all the time, right? Trick you, and then like some they, you know, they don't think, okay, yeah, this is the color. The person who never meditates seems to know everything in his room or her room. A person who is fully focused tend to know less. So this, because sometimes when the time is too long, then you can't meditate. So you start looking everywhere, you know, looking everywhere, counting everything. So, you know, that's what happens when you have more time. When, you know, so I think we should always begin with the 5 minutes. This way, I think you will learn good. Yeah. Yeah.
You said you meditate every morning when you get up. Do you do short times, many times a day, or short, or?
Oh, I like, because I've been doing for a long time. So like the moment I wake up, you know, then, you know, like of course, wash my face, and I'll sit in meditation posture. Then I'll sit like meditate, and then like mostly like not less than half an hour, because I've been doing for so long. So it comes naturally, you know, because I've been long time. So the moment I wake up, then I need to do this, you know. I just do it. It becomes a routine, you know. sort of like habit. So I don't feel very difficult. Initially, yes, it's difficult to wake up early, you know, it's difficult. But then when you get used to it, you should try every day, few months, then you will get used to it. But if you keep skipping, then it becomes harder and harder. Like even beside my school work, meditate, and then also I have a lot to pray, you know, at least like 1.5 hour prayers. So I pray, meditate together, all this happens, everything together. But definitely, like you need to wash your face, because when you wake up, not immediately when you wake up, maybe you should wash your face, take a time, then you can start, you know. Like, yeah, it's good. Like normally, like we do, when you sit, we do like this, because this is the, like, there are like 72,000 of channels that we have inside our body, and like every day we breathe like I think it's, if I remember clearly, 25,500 or something like that breath we breathe every day. So you know, the good meditator, you know, like most of the time when we breathe, you know, when we breathe, exhale, inhale, we know that mostly comes from nose or from mouth, you know. But then, you know, the good meditator, they're able to tell where it's coming from. Even nose, tip of the nose, or right or left or below. So they are able to tell that, am I going to be good, healthy today? From breathing. And they're able to, like, they're able to count your breathing, their breath, how much is left, and they're able to predict that when they're going to die. So many like gurus in like Tibet, Bhutan, you know, many, it doesn't have to be monk or nun, you know, even many lay people, layman or women, there are some of them, you know, they will tell that I'm going to die this month, this day. Yeah, they die exactly the same day. They will predict. It's such a profound practice, you know. So, you know, this is the, what do you call it, the way of all the negativities, you know, all the negative emotions. We call it defilement, such as anger, jealousy, hatred, and all this. So like we always press this like this, and like hold on your hip like this. When I wake up early morning, when you do like this, I can't do because it's hip like this. Then when I raise up like this, you know, raise like this, then hit like this, you know, like this. Then block your right nostril and blow from your left nostril. Then place it back. Again, you raise up the left, see? Then again, block your left nostril and blow it from right. And place back, you know, on your hip, you know, both hands there. So this normally we do every morning. This is like whatever bad energy inside you, you know, you remove everything. Because if it's inside your body and they're disturbed with all the positive energy. So that's what we do every day when you moment or wake up. Close like this, like here now. This up. Yeah. We can learn so, you know, like hip on your hip like this, like this, yeah. Like this. You know this. Yeah. Press that, hold it here, that. Yeah. You see, it goes like this. Then and place it back and go. Yeah. So I think in yogas also you do a lot of this, like you know, like breathing out, yeah. So this what, if you can do it, it's okay. Slowly you will get used to it. Like when I do that, then after that, then I start my prayers. So this is something that the moment you wake up, we're supposed to do, So remove all your leftover negative energies, or bad energies, raw energies, then, then you're pure inside your body. I think we are more or less done, yeah? So you can have something, yeah? So if you are interested, I don't know, not this next week, but the week after, we are teaching, we are discussing, what's that? Yeah, life after that, how to prepare, because strictly in Buddhist belief that we not this life, there's a life also after, we die, and then how to prepare ourselves, and then beginning life, new life, how to look for a new life. So this is like transit launch when you go to airport.
So this is in 2 weeks?
In
2 weeks, not next week, but the following week?
Yeah, every 2 weeks, one time, yeah,
every other week.
And, yes. So you are more. We will also give you like handouts, so you can study and try to learn. Now last time we did in meditation. This time we didn't do.
Not tonight.
Huh?
Next week we'll have.
Yeah. So like a sheet of paper. Then we will have that. Every week, like the teaching you have. Then you can learn yourself. Huh?
I like the timer where it starts off. Is that an app or something? I want to try to use that on the
Yeah,
phone.
it's an app. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's app. Yeah, this looks like this.
What's the name of the chain you have?
Do you know the
I
name?
don't know.
Is it Bodhi or
You can
something?
check.
Yeah.
I think when you meditation timer, then you can have a look at this one.
You have it?
Oh, one question.
Huh?
Will we listen to music when we meditate?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong. Yeah, you can listen to music. Yeah, you can listen to music.
Bodhi times.
Yeah, you can listen to music and concentrate. And also, like when you listen to music, you focus on each word. There's the music, there's the word. You listen to each word and try to focus. This also can be done. It's not just one kind. There could be thousands of thousands. And if whichever way you feel comfortable, you should just try to do it. But the important is we must do it every day. It makes you really relax. Especially now, the environment is so chaotic. Like it's so stressful, and it says to be the cause of many disease, sickness. Even though we have made so much of progress in terms of technology, in terms of medicine, but then there are new kinds of disease coming out, and all man-made, like a stress. It's like, and depression, all this, there's, I think meditation really helps to address this kind of problems, and then, if you do it, I think you can overcome all this, because you're looking at yourself and seeing yourself, as someone that, as long as you have a will, then you can overcome, I think the problem here is we tend to lose this determination and strength to fight, because when our mind becomes very weak, actually, there's a lot of energy inside, so we have to just harness our energy. It's so much there. In fact, in Buddhism, we believe that everyone is a potential to be Buddha, because we all possess Buddha nature. And they say difference between Buddha and us is because Buddha has recognized his essence, so he became a Buddha. We haven't recognized this essence, so we need to work. And meditation is one of the effective tools to recognize yourself, who I am. Because who I consider is not who I am. I'm simply labeled by my ignorance. But who I am, I'm a Buddha. But who I am today is not who I am, you know. Like it seems like a lot of people seem to have like impermanent, you know, like it's like, or emptiness seems a difficult thing to understand, but actually it's like quite simple. I mean, difficult to realize, but then, you know, like for instance, like I call myself Gharwang. In school you call me Gharwang. But I simply label myself as a Gharwang, but actually there's no truth, or there's no proof that I'm real Gharwang. Like for instance, if I remove all my part of my body and put in all different places, you cannot find Gharwang. You know, even like car, we just call it car because we put everything together, we call it car. So if you put everything, you know, like a engine or wheel, everything separately, so you cannot really find a car. So our mind is the culprit that build up everything which is not true. So we are in fact living in the whole, what do you call, like cannot say, living on a like unrealistic hope, which is not really true, you know. Okay. Please enjoy some biscuits and tea, okay, before you leave, because we have too much.
Thank you.